My only non-wizard creature.
Oh, you'll have more wizards once we modify it.
Streaming Dragons Dogma 2, Amber,
The one
lifevintage.com.
you and I like so much.
That is a good ability. It really is. I wish it costs less, but it's a great ability.
Goblin wizards. I think we added a few extra artifacts.
Well, that deck is supposed to have quite a few artifacts, isn't it? It's your landfall that we didn't have a lot of artifacts in.
Well, it doesn't here at all the fucking mana rocks.
First.
Yeah, it's supposed to.
Congratulations. Roll for initiative.
Because that's how we were trying to get Niv out on the field even faster.
Honestly, I need to get rid of this Drake. I mean, don't get me wrong, it still has a purpose. As a flying with...
Roll. Twisty Skidnapped rolled 17.
Equal to the number of instants and sorcery cards you own in exile and in your graveyard. So that gets pretty big pretty quick.
Good day.
Ah, yes, my Hogwarts letter. One mana of any color, sacrifice letter of acceptance, draw a card.
Hogwarts letter.
That was what happened in a wizard deck.
Yeah, well...
Everything's a wizard.
You're a wizard, Harry. No, you're just a hairy wizard.
Spell Slinger, which is actually a cool one. It's got that western theme to it rather than guns, you're using magic.
Okay, post a blue sky. It's
Cast that spell, copy it for each spell cast before its turn. You may choose new targets for the copies. Okay, so Storm just lets me create copies of the spell I cast with this one.
basically, yes. There's also cards that allow you to use your storm count to do other things.
Commander's Sphere, add 1 mana of any color to your commander's color identity, sacrifice Commander's Sphere, draw a card. So yeah, that's how we're trying to make up for it right here. Reliquary Tower. Nice because I don't get a maximum hand size, but I can only tap it for colorless. Not the greatest, like it's good for other things, but...
Like I said, there's some modifications we can do to both decks to make them more on the competitive side. But we're just not in the position to do so right now.
Yeah, and I can pay 1 life to get tap this for red or blue.
That's always good because there should be some dual lands in there that tap for either or as well. The dual lands, we could put fetch lands in there too.
Oh! I got an artifact that you may cast spells as though they had flash.
Mm-hmm. There's a...
Ah, yes, we all know this. Sensei Divining.
Gotta love that one.
Especially in the draw deck. Not only am I drawing, but I know what I'm drawing.
Well, it's kind of like stacking the deck, so for the most part, that's the whole idea of top. There's some combos with top as well, but I don't think you have any in there. You could technically put Displacer Kitten in there, but I'm not sure if that's a good scheme for that or not.
Another little bit of the combo. Arcane Signet. Add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity, which is nice. It's a 2-drop. That kind of sucks. I gotta already pay mana for it, but at least it's colorless. Alright, there's a draw card with flashback. Lock and load. Draw a card, then draw a card for each other instant and sorcery spell card you cast this turn. So since the idea is I'm supposed to be casting a shit ton of spells anyways to control the board,
That's the goal, yes.
this is great because that's going to let me draw a card for every spell that I cast that turn. And it says spell. Yeah, just on this instant and sorcery spell. Okay, so any instant.
Roll. Sparrow underscore lure roll 2. Lol. Hi at Sparrow underscore lure.
Here's one of them I thought about putting in my. I'm gonna do wheels and shit. So here'd be a good wheel for my landfall one.
Discards their hand, then draws cards equal to the greatest number among
Bad day,
players
Lauren
that
decided in toddler
discarded.
have to
Yeah.
take one to dentist
Oh, you
sandwich
have
you love
7
to-
cards. Good. Everything's
I have
gone.
none, so we're gonna play this since I just grew up on this one. Bloop.
Yes, that's what wheel is. That one's a
Now
blue
I
one.
get 7 cards. Yay me. Brainstorm, draw 3 cards, and put 2 cards in your hand on top of your library in the order. Oh, I don't need this card yet, and I don't want to potentially get hit with a wheel. Fuck me right now.
Good
I
luck.
got my win condition in my hand, but I don't have my commander yet for any means of reaching
Lurk.
it just yet.
UT air.
Let's put this back on the top of my library for now.
Bad day. Distine? I don't know how to pronounce that one, but toddler hair and take one to the dentist. Oh man, that's gonna be fun.
Locked and so nice. Too bad it has to have
Lol.
Metalcraft, though.
That's fine. You'll have enough artifacts in there to make Metalcraft work. You only need 3 and he counts as 1, right? So it's a great 0 drop for colors too, so
Everyone doesn't quite understand why I don't think I know what Obsidian Eye is, to be honest with you.
probably not. That really surprise anybody? Since it's July. I got myself up here in the doorway and Twisty with a bunch of sparklers.
It fits up. Twisty's personality is a little bit different from
Lol.
the actual personality that we know.
It happens. But that's my my starting screen at the moment.
So,
It's more or less working. Oh, the streaming thing's still hard.
So, not counting.
No. This one's not supposed to have creatures. It's supposed to be spell heavy. Your other one's creature
Technically,
heavy.
That's not a creature, that's a planeswalker.
Yeah, I count planeswalkers as spells, even though they're another player. So
4, 5, 6, 13 creatures.
technically, for an average deck, that's not too bad. Is it a good thing? No, because if somebody starts swinging at you, you might be in a problematic area.
The plan is to have more counter. Anything else is wrong. But if I don't have a lot of creatures for me to worry about,
Let's just say you're not going to be defending yourself too often because you're going to need to keep your creatures.
16 artifacts.
which is on the high end, but yes, you could put more.
Well, let's look at Cursed Mirror. Let's see what this Cursed Mirror. It has two good things that happen. You may have it become a copy of any creature on the battlefield until end of turn, except it has haste.
Except it has haste, yeah.
Nice. I can tap it or mount it.
Mm-hmm.
Downside, it costs 3, but being able to create creatures that I control helps.
Yes.
Oh, you targeted the Barracuda. Well, which Barracuda are you aiming for?
Basically, yes.
Doesn't really matter because it's a copy of that Barracuda. It doesn't say it changes back when the original dies.
Hammer. LifeVintage.com has merch. Look at it. Help an old
I
man.
think
help you.
the only problem is the legend rule.
I
And
don't think the Barracuda is legendary.
any creature on the battlefield until the end of turn. Oh, it's until the end of turn, except it has haste. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Unless it's legendary, you should be fine.
Yeah, the creature is not legendary. But at that point, maybe somebody got a creature that would help me with what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, it says any creature on the board, which is pretty impressive for a red. So if you see somebody on the field that has something that you kind of want to borrow, like, oh, guess what? I'm going to borrow Scoot's ability for right now. Right?
Now I want to use auto scoop to block. Yay!
Oh,
They're
no.
going to go away in turn anyways. Might as well swing with
No. That's not... That ability is going to go away. If you had enough lands on the field to make a copy of a Scoot...
That scoot itself won't go away.
Exactly. So you have a Scoot on your field that is a copy creature, but not one that's going to dispel itself, because now it doesn't have the ability of it ends at the end of turn.
Lol.
This mirror is not a bad one either. During your upkeep, you may put a petal counter on Lotus Blossom. Sacrifice Lotus Blossom, add X mana of one
I can
color
stream
to
from
your
chat.
mana pool, where X
Lol.
is the number of petal counters on Lotus Blossom. Play this ability as a mana source. So, get
Discord.
3 blossoms on this, or
https://discord.gg/bgsgkyae.
Okay, now I can go with 3 red, or I can go with 3 blue.
Having a bunch of lands that are dual lands, where you can have either or color, is good. Your mana rocks will make up for a lot of it.
And I have Lotus Petal, which is not bad. It's a 0 drop. It's a
You sack it for one color, yeah.
color.
There's a lot of stuff you can do with a Lotus Petal. There's a lot of combos you can do with a Lotus Petal.
And I have the Arcane Signet. Tap, add 1 color. 1 mana of any color in your commander's card. Then I have Midnight Clock Tower, which kind of does the same as my mirror. So I can tap it to add a blue. 2 in a blue, put an hour counter on Midnight Clock. At the beginning of each upkeep, put an hour counter on Midnight Clock. When the 12th hour counter is put on Midnight Clock, shuffle your hand from the graveyard into your library, then draw 7 cards. Exile Midnight Clock.
Yeah, it's a one-time deal, but
But it's a good, oh, you wiped my board. Fuck. You know, I guess I get this, I can slowly start working on either making you panic because you already know it was on the board and now I'm getting to shuffle it back into my library and get a fresh start, like a game started all over.
yeah.
Can I replace it for anything better? Yes. And will I? Yeah.
For this deck, counters are necessary. For your landfall, counters are absolutely not necessary. Because if you cascade into a counter, it just fizzles. You'll be wasting cards. You want solid stuff.
Like any artifact that gives me.
And you got everything except for white, so there's a lot of white stuff that is like, dang, that would be good in the deck, but it's not viable.
I wonder why it's not banned. Like, probably because of the way it costs.
It's
And
because
the
it costs
ability
6.
by itself isn't the world's greatest ability. Like, it does slow you down.
It not being counterable, I can see why people would be like, oh, that must be an unfair card. But just because you can't counter it doesn't mean you can't interact with it.
Yeah. Unless I make it hexproof. Then you can't poke at this card individually. Only way you can get rid of it is with a board wipe.
Mm-hmm.
You have to indiscriminately target everything. You cannot discriminate against my Perun if he's hexproof.
There are still ways to deal with that creature besides countering.
Yeah.
So it being uncounterable is only oh no, it's a good card. It doesn't mean it's an invincible card.
No. It just means he gets that on the board.
If he was topping more tournaments, I'd be like, yeah, maybe he should be closer to a ban list. But no, he's not topping tournaments because he costs too damn much. And there's no more command-specific artifact for getting him out anymore. So now it's...
It's 6 mana to play. I mean, it's not any random color. Like, most commanders is, yeah, maybe 6 mana to play, but a majority of the color is colorless.
Yep. It's just 4 of any mana.
Colorless. It says I have to have 3 red mana and 3 blue mana.
That's why he's not banned, because he strictly costs 6. You can't make him cheaper, because when you make things cheaper, it's in the colorless marker, not the colored marker. So all this stuff that's dragons that makes stuff cheaper, no effect on him.
Nope, unless I had a red-blue dragon that gave me extra red-blue mana.
You sort of do.
Well, that's red-green.
You're right. It is green.
I wish it was just red.
That would be nice.
If it was just red, yeah. And with all my fucking colorless artifact mana, I could play that dragon. But it's red and green, so I can't play it.
You have the wrong colors. Yep. Can only build around the colors of your commander. And it's kind of a waste to put him anywhere but commander. So if you had a way to pull him, you don't have black for tutors, you don't have certain things, you have a lot of draw scheme. If anything, I put Vivi as your commander, but then now you have to, your win condition is still around Niv. So you still need Niv and all the pieces for Niv to make that win your game. And now you have to draw into him naturally or all your abilities.
Don't get me wrong, Disappear's not a bad one either.
Yeah, get the rest of these, right? That do the same thing, but they're less mana, right? Get the rest of those. This is still usable because you can use the extra red to use your artifacts.
Or whatever.
Or, if anything, it can drop most of your artifacts that are mana rocks anyway. Oh, I only have 3 lands, but guess what? I'm going to use this, have 5 mana to play 2-3 mana rocks. There's always an option with Seething Song, and there's always an option with the ones that are under, which I forget what their names are.
Oh, I think I put this in here for just one reason. So if you're a library, then exile the top card of your library. Return. Actually, I'm probably going to get rid of that one. I do not see a reason for this one, to be honest. It doesn't help my win condition, it just kind of fucks me over more. Like, the only thing it does is let me kind of reset. But like shuffle and then the top card of the library after that it goes into exile. And I can play that exiled card.
Yes. But it's more for the storm than it is for anything else. Meaning you do this several times and then you get several free plays off the top of your hand, off your top of your deck, because you don't have to pay the mana costs. And what you would do is you would interrupt this thing. You would play it, shuffle your library since it's a period. Okay, shuffle your library. And then right before this second ability activates, use top. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck. Put the best one on the top. That top one gets exiled due to this ability, and you get to play it for free.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
Or maybe you used top before, and you're like, damn it, nothing's good, so you just do a reset, basically, and then a free cast. It is kind of obnoxious that it's 6 to play, but remember, storm count means you get to make a copy of that per
instant and sorcery that I played.
So every time you shuffle your deck, use top's ability for 1 mana, stack the top 3 cards how you want it, make sure the top 3, or the one you put on top is the one that you want exiled so you can play it.
I think it doesn't here cost as much as it does, but it's still so worth it. Counter a target spell, you may cast a spell with equal or lesser mana value from your hand without paying its mana cost.
It's kind of like Cascade Foot for your hand.
Yeah. Oh, that's a big card. Oh, that would do a lot of damage. No. Counter it. Oh, that was a costly little fucker, wasn't it? Well, now I can play something from my hand that costs the same or less. Oh yeah, here's another nasty one. And it has Storm also. So, it costs 5 mana. Fiery Encore. Discard a card, then draw a card. When you discard a non-land card this way, Fiery Encore deals damage equal to that card's mana value to target creature with Planeswalker. Storm. When you cast this spell, copy it for each spell cast before it this turn.
Magic Talking LOL and Dragon Dogma background.
Yeah, what you're basically doing is playing your draw stuff, your draw stuff, your draw stuff. Oh, I got 3 storms on the stack. Boom, now I get to make 3 copies of this card. And then you get to be like, okay, I'm going to use this ability 3-4 times. That's the whole idea behind the storm. That's why it was in your listing when you had this, right? Is because it has that storm stuff, because you're supposed to be a casting deck.
Yeah, it says Storm and Overload are your 2 biggest things in the board. That or what was the other one?
Do you have a card in there
Jump,
with?
I think it was? Yeah, Jump card. You may cast this card from the graveyard by discarding a card, in addition to paying its other cost. Then exile this card.
Yeah, you definitely need more stuff like Seething Song for red, for sure. That'll help you cast all this little storm stuff faster, too. Oh, look, Seething Song. Cast.
Vandal Blast. Destroy target artifact you don't control. Which is always nice. I can destroy somebody's big mana rock. Or some other artifact that's given them a
The odds that you're going to kill something either stunning the board or a mana rock, very high.
And then I can pay an overload cost, which is 5. You may cast a spell for its overload cost. If you do, change target and text
To all, yeah.
So now I can destroy each artifact.
There's a blue one with overload that bounces everything to the hand with the overload cost.
Pyromatics, which costs 2. Replicate 2. When you cast a spell, copy it for each time you pay this replicate cost. You may choose new targets for each copy. Pyromatic deals 1 damage to any target. This is like, oh, fuck that little token that I know is going to get bigger. Fuck your Scoot. It goes bye-bye.
That's exactly what's going to happen in your landfall deck. They're going to see Scoot and be like, no, we ain't playing this game no more. No, it's gone. I bust it. It's dead. I'm going to lightning bolt it. I'm going to do something to kill it.
Yeah, I think the most annoying thing I got in there is Scoot.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Like, I'm going to destroy Scoot. It's like, not my Scoot.
Not my little buggy. He did nothing wrong.
They're like, yeah, now let's see you create an army. I'm like,
We're not even done with it. You haven't seen Army yet.
I'm just kind of like,
And in your playtestings, you didn't even get your doubler yet.
so I'm just like, okay. I think so. How many scoots can you get rid of?
Basically.
They're like, what? I'm just asking for a friend. How many scoots do you think you can wipe out without a board wiper? So, and then furthermore, are you going to wipe the board if you have your wing condition out? Knowing that, well, that just puts me back at square one. For a mild inconvenience on my part.
We definitely want to look at the Chocobo stuff. Because, oh no, Scoot's, public enemy number one, but this Chocobo, it's making more Chocobos for some reason, right? We definitely want to look at that and see what we can take out. Because I think the ones that I think we should take out is probably Epic, Epic something, and then your elf that lets everything have green, have flash.
Finale of Revelation. Draw X card if X is 10 or more. Instead, shuffle your graveyard into your library. Draw X cards and tap up to 5 lands. You have no maximum hand size for the rest of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Which it costs 2 blue and X colorless. So I could definitely dump mana rocks in that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, now I have no hand size. I can keep all my instances.
True.
Which with red and blue, and you and I both know this is an instant and sorcery heavy deck.
Oh yeah. That's why you only
That
have
is
13
terrifying.
creatures.
That is absolutely terrifying.
You might be able to put more creatures in there once we check out what Vivi does and all that other stuff, because Vivi will make a big difference too. Except you don't have anything to make him stronger.
Oh yeah, that's another thing I got. Fluster Storm. 1 blue. Counter target instant or sorcery spell unless its controller pays 1. And it has Storm.
That would do it.
I mean, it only works on instants and sorceries. It doesn't work on creatures, but how much mana are you willing to dump into a board wipe?
A lot. Depending on player, of course, but
Oh, this is another good one too. Mana Geyser. It costs 5. It's 2 red and 3 colorless. Add 1 red mana for each tapped land your opponents control. That was one of the other things we're looking at to get Niv out. Oh, I'm hurting on red? Cool. Now I play this, and yay! All the lands you tap, I now have that many red mana.
exactly it.
Now I can play my Nib. Thank you, everybody, for your contributions. I appreciate it. On behalf of Nib and myself, we'd like to thank you for your donations of red mana. And to show our appreciation, we will now wipe you out. Yay!
It's one way to do it.
Shattering Spree. 1 red. And it has Replicate. Destroy target artifact. So I can replicate this with however much red mana I'm willing to put into it.
Yep.
And then just like, I don't like that artifact, I don't like that artifact. Oh, you really love that artifact. I don't. Goodbye to that artifact.
Yeah, it gives you a little more board control. It also helps you from people stopping the board as well, so.
And is it Charmed? That's another one they were talking about here.
Mm-hmm.
It's an instant. Choose one. Counter target non-creature spell unless the controller pays 2.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Charmed deals 2 damage to target creature? Draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards.
Yes.
All good viable options. Oh, that's a bad thing. I don't want that bad thing coming up. Does he have any mana? He does not have any mana. I'm going to play this, and now I have a blue-red counter.
I have a counter, or this guy played
2 extra mana.
This guy just played. Yeah, this guy just played Scoot. I'm gonna do 2 damage to Scoot, so he doesn't get to pop off. Or the discard. I need to refresh my hand. Yeah.
2 good cards. I'm going to go ahead and draw 2 cards. I'm going to discard the 2 cards I did not need.
Mm-hmm.
And now, okay, we are good. Or at least I hope I'm good.
That comes down to a lucky. I'd rather use the first couple options rather than that one. So
Wild Ricochet. That's really interesting. You may choose new targets for target instance or sorcery spells. Then copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. That's for like, oh, somebody's trying to counter me with that? No. I played this and I'm going to ricochet your counter. Or, oh, that's going to take out all my creatures? No, sir.
no board wipe for you if I counter it.
No, instead, you get a board wipe and I choose you to get a board wipe. Yay!
Oh,
Everybody but me gets a board wipe.
I don't know if it works that way, to be honest.
It's pretty much they're trying to fuck with my board. It's no. Fuck your board instead. And then I get to make copies of it. And
Board wipe doesn't target.
no, it has to be something that targets me.
Now, if he's trying to blow up your one of your creatures, like your Barracuda, be like, no, new target. It's that one.
And I get to create another one, so I don't like that creature's ability. Fuck your scoot.
Exactly. You can pop a scoot. You can pop another card and be like, well, I saved my Barracuda. Now you can't play shit during my turn, right?
No. Fuck you and your counters. You can't do it on my turn. Which really just says you can't fuck with me while I'm doing my shit.
Not if you're going to protect it. If you have the ability to protect your board, yeah, obviously it's going to be kind of hard to mess with your board. That's always an option.
Which I could always equip an artifact that gives my Barracuda hexproof.
Yes.
Now the only thing you can really do to get rid of it is board wipes.
Because they don't target, yeah. We could probably find some cards that give you invincibility or invulnerable or whatever it's called.
But I think most of those are white.
Well, those are the only ways to do an anti-board wipe is indestructible or whatever. So
choose one, draw X cards, or invoke the Fire Mind deals X damage to any target. Both again good.
very.
Distant Melody. Choose its creature type. Draw a card for each permanent you control of that type.
Which is
Wizard.
You kind of don't have a choice on that one, but I'm not sure how many wizards you'll have on the field when you do that.
You may pay 1 life and exile a blue card from your hand. Rather than pay this spell, the mana cost, counter target spell. That's cool to know. Oh, I got this really bad blue card that I don't really want to use, and I can't find any use for it. But this guy's about to play something bad. I don't have the 5 mana. So I'm going to pay a life. I'm going to exile this blue card. And yeah, it's countered now. Force of Will.
Yeah, that's a counter.
Ponder. Look at the top 3 cards of your library and put them back in any order. You may shuffle and then draw a card.
You may shuffle, so if your top 3 cards are shitty, you just
Shuffle it.
take your chances.
Then draw another card.
Yep.
Volcanic Vision, which costs 7. Target instant or sorcery cards from your graveyard to your hand. Volcanic Vision deals damage equal to that card's mana value to each creature your opponents control.
That's a board wipe.
Volcanic Vision.
That's a board wipe. Depending on...
Everyone but me.
Yeah, it's a board wipe. All your opponent's stuff takes an amount of damage. Yeah, that's a board wipe. Those creatures are toast. This deck is technically way stronger than your landfall deck.
Yeah.
Because it's got enough in it to be like, hey, I know you're going to use Scoot, but Scoot's gone now. Oh, look, you have so many tokens and stuff. Guess what? I'm going to hit them all with damage now. Now they're all gone.
This deck would destroy my red blue record.
Unless your landfall deck manages to outspeed this one, right?
Which is highly likely.
Which is possible, yes. Depending on hand. Whichever hand is the strongest starting off with for per deck might be the deciding factor. If Niv's got a good hand, I don't think your other deck will make it.
Well, it shouldn't, because this is my 100%. There's no way around it. This is a competitive deck.
Yes.
It's not even a low grade competitive deck.
It's still
high grade.
It is still up there. You took a hit with some of the ban last. Yeah, the ban list hits you pretty decently. But that doesn't make it's impossible, right? You still have your win conditions. You're just slower at them now. But we can replace that with other stuff to make more mana. Like Vivi's gonna be more mana. We can find some goblins that tap for mana. You know, the goblin mana dorks. We can find stuff.
Yeah, I was also thinking like I might have some stuff in the other decks I'm not playing that has red or blue in it.
Yeah.
Find some stuff in there that helps me amp up mana.
Dragons might have that, but I don't want to molest your dragon deck. That's kind of your pre-con you want to play behind.
Yeah, it's a really good pre-con deck. I told him to, like, I got one guy that quit Magic because he doesn't like Commander, and Commander became a big thing over here.
I like the standard
This
style
was
of play,
the
but
deck. This was one of my very first Planeswalker decks.
I'm pretty sure I have played against that deck with my 60 card. Yeah. My 60 card decks are a little strong because they're under the Legacy format, I think. I think all the cards are semi-old enough to be under Legacy.
Can use that for the taps for black, too.
Yeah, all the colors have to be correct. If it taps for the wrong colors, then there's a problem. I think the racing set might have some goblins that tap for mana. Tap for red.
Like, there's some good or sorceries in here. Like this right here wouldn't be a bad one to put in. It's 1 cost,
Mm-hmm.
and it deals 2 damage to target creature. If their creature would die, just turn exile it instead.
It's a one-hit wonder, but yeah.
I mean, having some low-cost instants and sorceries just help with my storm.
Yeah, basically that's what that's for.
Instances and sorceries I can play, the better off.
Your goal is to play draw cards. You utilize blue for counters and draws. You're literally using blue what it's supposed to be for, right? Counters and drawing. As soon as you draw into your win conditions and the mana to drop on the floor, you're pretty much, that's where the game's going to end. Now, it's going to be interesting when you deal with a black deck that makes sure Niv doesn't stay alive long enough. That'll be fun to see what you do.
Which is why we definitely put more counters. That was already a guaranteed thing.
Yeah, your counters are gonna. He can't be countered, so that's cool. You don't have to worry about counters for that. But you're still gonna have to
counter some murders and other shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I do want to put Lightning Greaves in there because Lightning Greaves gets haste and it gets hex.
I'm surprised Lightning Greaves isn't in there, to be honest.
And that's what I'm trying to find. I know I got decks in here that I don't play that has Lightning Greaves. Like this blue-white one, I don't play this one.
Well, there should be 2 different ones. There should be Lightning Greaves, and there should be Swift Boots or something like that. And those are like staples for every deck. Giving yourself haste and then, can't target it now is always good. Unless it's Shroud.
This one wouldn't be a bad one to put in. It's a legendary enchantment or Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. Creatures your opponent control attacks this turn if able. But in order for them to attack, I have to pay 1 and a blue and tap this card. But being able to draw a card every time I attack,
Yeah.
creatures attack, that's not bad. But it costs a hell of a lot. It's 4 mana to play. 2 blue and 2 colorless. The colorless I can deal with what I got for artifacts. Oh, this is a nice one. It's an enchantment. Whenever an opponent attacks, if they attack you and or a planeswalker you control, draw a card. It's an enchantment. It helps with draw scheme.
Well, you do have a planeswalker in there too, so that means you could still technically try to do something when they're trying to kill him.
But this right here is mostly based on flying creatures, but what I'm looking for is lightning greaves. It is blue and white. I don't need anything else. Oh! This wouldn't actually be a bad one to add in there.
Turn all attacking creatures to their owner's hands. If they're trying to swarm you, yeah, that's great.
So, like,
you don't have to.
Good counter.
Yeah, you're basically going to be like, I'm not going to pick any blockers because all your attacking stuff is gone.
Counter spell is another one I should really put in there.
Yeah, more counters isn't going to hurt you.
And it only costs 2 blue.
Yes.
That one's getting taken out of here.
Not sure if you want to put in. Too bad that one's only for those attacking, and it's only going to be one person who's attacking you is going to get bounced.
Negate's another good one.
Yeah, that's a good counter. I didn't realize you had so many counters in this deck.
Well, this one here is a blue-white. So it's all about flying and control and protection.
Well, those have been remade sometimes, and I don't think they're in the other ones, so...
Okay, here we go. Now we're getting some stuff. This wouldn't be a bad one. Sky Diamond. It's an artifact. Sky Diamond enters the battlefield tap, but next turn I can tap it to add a blue.
How much does it cost? It's an artifact. Okay. It's a slow mana rock, but it's a mana rock. We might want to look at the Aether Crystals too. From the Final Fantasy set.
That sucks. So this one here doesn't have lightning greaves either. That sucks.
I think the red Aether gives you bonuses on casting red spells. And they make them cheaper or something. Same with blue. I think blue makes blue spells cheaper. Unless it has mana for red, I don't know.
Well, I'm looking mostly for that artifact.
Oh, that one better have that artifact. Any red deck should have a lightning greaves or at least a swift boots. Because giving your red creatures haste is kind of necessary for the whole system.
Low. Magic Day XD.
This isn't bad either. The 6, Sunbird's Invocation. Whenever you cast a spell from your hand, reveal the top X cards of your library, where X is the spell's mana value.
I will set up a raid soon. Roll.
Cast a spell with mana value X or less from among cards revealed this way, without paying its mana cost. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in
Lurk.
random order.
Twisty's kidnapped. Scouting area. While here.
I guess that cycles through some of your stuff. I don't know what I feel about the cost of it.
It costs so much, though. But it almost does the exact same thing as my Jewel's Lotus. But it costs 6.
Converted jewel, or coveted jewel.
Add 3 of any one color.
Yep.
But it costs 6 to play.
Yeah, but you get a draw on it, the ignition
Yeah,
effect.
draw 3 cards on
Whenever one or more creatures an opponent controls attacks you that aren't blocked, that player draws 3 cards. What? And gains control of your jewel. You better be careful about people attacking you.
Yeah.
One or more creatures an opponent controls attacks you and are not blocked. Yeah, that spell you showed me that bounces everything they attack with, maybe. Except you're going to get the 3 cards ignition effect, so that's kind of cool. Cost 6. Get to draw 3 cards and have 3 mana.
This one here
Straight
might be a
up.
viable one. It costs 1. I don't think I have Wayfarer or Wobble.
Well, this might be something to use with your Seething Song.
Yeah.
Then you get draws off of it, and then you have 3 of any color to summon Niv. So maybe that might be a good choice. But yeah, 6 mana is kind of high.
Yay, Lightning Greaves! Oh, it gives creature a haste and has Shroud.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the same as Hexproof where they can't be targeted, or?
Yes.
Okay.
But Shroud is a heavier format than Hexproof. Shroud means cannot be targeted by anybody. Hexproof means be targeted by your opponents, meaning you can still activate equip spells and stuff to yours. But if it has Shroud, you can't attach nothing to it anymore.
So I need to attach everything I need to attach to it.
Yup. It'll protect whatever you put it on, but as soon as it has Shroud, you can't do nothing about it.
So probably use it on my Barracuda that doesn't need anything else on it.
Probably.
And now my Barracuda can't be targeted.
It does say Shroud, right? Yep. Can't be targeted by spells or abilities, and equips for no. Well, you can get around this, right? The equips cost is 0. Okay, then I'm gonna transfer it over to my Barracuda. I'm gonna attach all this stuff to Niv, and then reattach it, so now you can't target it again, right? There's a way around that, but by the time you attach everything to Niv, you should be able to win the game.
I don't want to touch my blue-black one. My blue-black one.
Isn't that the zombie one?
Yeah.
Then don't. Plus, there shouldn't be anything in there you really need anyway.
I think I found everything I need.
Just trust me, once you start playing more random people, you will see combos that you're like, hey, I could use that combo in this deck. Hey, I could use that combo in this deck. You will be making modifications as you're playing and be like, I need to order this card and this combo, and this one works great. Like, we could put Displacer Kitten inside your artifact deck, your red-blue Niv deck, and do those combos. But is it really necessary?
Well, that's a creature and it's an avatar. It costs 7 to play.
Yeah, 7 to play is high. Gotcha. But what does it do?
Diluvian from Primordial enters the battlefield for each opponent. You may or sorcery card from that player's graveyard without paying its mana cost. If a spell cast this way would be put into a graveyard exile instead. So what it allows me to do is trigger more shit from me casting instants and sorcery for Storm.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the same time, I'm not paying mana cost to use your own instances or sorceries to take control of the board.
Mm-hmm.
So, that was going to hit my creatures really, really hard. I like that idea. And since I countered it and it's in your graveyard, I'm going to go ahead and pull that out of your graveyard. And use
That is heavily dependent on your opponents. Heavily.
Interesting, but it costs way too damn much for me to even want.
If you do put it in a deck, make sure you have the 1, mana to play it, 2, your opponents have shit in the graveyard, and it better be a game win. If you're gonna pay that much in mana, you better have it win you the game.
Lol. Still Magic Day. XD.
Yeah, the only other thing I see in here that would be interesting to go with that combo you were talking about is...
I will look for a raid.
Cost 3 mana, Everwatching Threshold.
Mm-hmm.
It's a blue enchantment. Whenever an opponent attacks, if they attack you and or a planeswalker you control, draw a card. So if I had that one that says I can do this when it comes out, but people gotta attack me in order to take that from me and use it themselves, right? I think that's what
We'll
that
message you later, lol.
artifact said, wasn't it?
They steal it.
Jewel?
Yeah, they steal it if they hit you enough times. They have to deal damage to you without being blocked.
Yeah, they get to draw 3 cards.
And then they get to keep your make 3 mana.
So if I did this with that one, you're going to try to attack. I can block and I'll still get the effect of drawing a card since you attacked me.
Mm-hmm.
Or my planeswalker. So this right here is adding more draw scheme to a thing that's already giving me a draw scheme. And my 3 mana.
True, drawing is kind of your main staple at the moment, yes. Whenever an opponent attacks, if they attacked you and or a planeswalker you control, draw a card. You're only going to get 1 draw off of it.
What's for Recreation? Protections.
Too bad it's not draw a card per damage. It just says they have to attack you.
I can block, which will keep them from getting my crystal anyways.
Well, what happens is it triggers, like, I declare my attackers. Okay, well, you attacked, and before I declare blockers, I'm going to draw a card, right? You can state that you're going to activate this ability on your attacks, right? Doesn't say damage, just says attacks. And then you can declare your blockers after you draw your single card. That player draws 3 cards. You can get this jewel to work for you, but if somebody's in an attacking deck, they're going to try to steal this and take your 3 mana away, so...
If they're smart, that's exactly what they would do.
That is... This thing gives you aggro. For battle. Guaranteed. Yeah. I could use the mana, the mana, and the 3 card draw. How about I just attack you with these?
Does it have any creatures have to block? Or does it just say
Whenever
unblocked?
one or more creatures an opponent controls attacks you that aren't blocked, yes. As long as he hits you, he gets this. He just has to hit. It doesn't say damage because that would make trample way too dangerous for this, right? But it says it has to hit you without being blocked. So even if you block a trample and take damage, it doesn't count as the hit for this.
No, the other one we're talking about to go with that is to bounce everything back into their hand that's attacking.
Yeah, that would be the one that you would want to use and be like, okay, everything attacking is now returned to your hand. That means you didn't have to declare any blockers, but you took no hits, so...
And that would definitely make people think twice.
Unless there's a loophole for this, I don't think so. I think that it works that they have to hit you. Attack you and aren't blocked, because right after you declare your blockers, you take the damage. So if they deal the damage, you're definitely lost this fight.
Because if I declare blocker, but before we go into the end of combat phase, I bounce everything back. Technically, nothing was getting unblocked.
Attack you and aren't blocked.
I think even if I bounce them back to your hands,
it's possible that there's a loophole where that being bounced at that phase of the game makes it a loophole to where they would steal this.
that's what I'm trying to figure out.
But if that's the case, as soon as they start declaring attackers, just bounce it immediately.
Oh.
Just declare it as an instant, because it's an instant, isn't it? Boom, okay, you declared your attackers, it's an instant, and now I'm going to bounce everything that's attacking, right?
Like, it'd be my dream for somebody to put that on their board with my landfall deck.
Yeah, you would definitely want to steal whoever put this thing down.
Just for the draw scheme, not even the mana.
Well, for the 3 draw, absolutely. For the mana, it's any color I want. So if you had a mana issue, it's not an issue now. So, and you're definitely going to have enough tokens to block and protect this thing, so you could technically put this in that deck instead. So,
That would be a bad idea.
I don't know about cascading it because it's a 6 cost, but it is a draw scheme.
Some things in there cost more than 6. That was the problem we had, was a lot of my stuff cost way more than other things.
Well, you were getting cascade off of things you were casting for 3 and 4.
That was fucking me over.
And you were like, I gotta find a mana dork. I gotta find a land search card. You were only looking for.
Cast bigger spells. This way you're okay. Now my cascade is triggered like it should.
Yeah, but you need the mana to do so.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as we get you your fetch lands, that shouldn't be an issue anymore. But
If I was gonna put that in anything, I think it would definitely be my landfall deck. Because that would solve my mana issue. And colorless is even better. Because I can get so many different things for color anyways. A
true.
lot of the times, all my lands are different colors now.
The biggest thing you would use that for is the draw scheme. That's the number one thing you're gonna do. It's a 6 cost draw. But you're going to instantly get 3 mana right off of it because it doesn't come into play tapped. So you're basically playing it for 3. You're going to draw 3, and then you still have 3 mana to play with, right? Because it taps for 3. So you technically only used 3 mana.
Yep. 3 back allows me to use that for a cascade or whatever.
Or if you did put it in your Niv deck, be like, okay, I have too many red. Well, I'm going to use red to prop this son of a bitch out there. Oh, guess what? It taps for 3, so it's going to be blue, and then I'll tap my other red that are sitting here, and it can cycle your colors.
Late in the game, I should be with at least one of my win conditions. I have so many things to trigger that combo for that reason.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't want to get screwed out. the more things I have that give me the infinite combo loop,
Mm-hmm.
the higher chances I have of getting it.
Yes.
So this going in there, you're right. The only downside is I don't have the creatures to block. So only play this when, oh, I need to get Niv and I need to get him now.
I need
My win condition. I'm just waiting for Niv. Okay. Let's do this.
it'll let you siphon the color. Basically, it's a one-hit wonder. You're gonna be like, I'm gonna use 3 red, and I'm gonna cast Seething Song, which gives me 5 red. So you use 5 red, that 1 blue, put that thing on the field. You have more blue and red now. You have the mana. You have that 3 draw. So hopefully you drew into something that you needed with those 3 draw. And then now you're like, okay, now I got this 3 mana, this 3 mana. Niv can go on the board because I was missing that 1 color or something.
Here's the best part. We already know I have a lot of mana rocks. A lot of low-costing mana rocks that give me colorless.
Yeah.
The key point, 6 colorless mana. Meaning I could use my mana rocks that I cannot use for my commander.
Yes.
Get this sumbitch out.
Yes.
And now I can use this plus the mana I do have.
Yes, because it gives you color. Yes.
My commander. This is going in there because it's expensive, but it at least is a close second to Jeweled Lotus. And I get my draw.
The goal is more for the draw, yeah. It's going to be a one-hit wonder because I assume somebody's going to try to snag it if the game lasts longer. But how long's the game going to last once you play it? Probably not long. As soon as you cast that, you probably should have Niv on the board.
It will be on there and then boom, I'll be set.
And then you basically roll into your win condition and win the game. Even if they had the stuff to try to attack you with it, Niv's on the board. As soon as you play a spell, Niv is going to activate and I can pop stuff, I can hit you, I can start doing weird stuff.
If I have my infinite combo, I might well hit you. Because once I hit you, that infinite combo
If your deck can get around the negative of a card, then you probably should use the card. And your deck can technically get around that. The odds that they're going to find a way to stop you, that's going to be very rare and in between. So,
Alright. So we're wanting to put the Lightning Greaves in for Niv to protect him.
we want to protect things, yes.
I can protect my Barracuda until Niv gets out.
Yup.
So this is weird, nobody-
Remember,
Back with my board.
remember it's shroud and not hexproof, meaning you got to worry about your targeting, yeah. Because you are targeting problem, yeah.
Barracuda, I don't need to put anything on Barracuda other than those greaves. Now he can't be targeted, no abilities, nothing can be aimed at him. Now he is safe and sound. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10. 16 fucking artifacts.
Well, yeah, there's going to be a lot of artifacts because it's supposed to be built that way.
33, 34, 35, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40. put cards out. I never put cards back in. I took Jewel Lotus out of here. It had to go.
Yeah, because it was banned, and then you took Mana Crypt out of there too. Unless something accidentally slipped into there.
10. Yeah, but in the sleeves?
You had extra sleeves.
You're right. I think I put in some stuff for backups just in case.
And then you must have flipped them over accidentally.
Yeah. Now I gotta figure out what they were. I know it wasn't any of my artifacts. Wind condition. Wind condition.